What is going on, everybody? How we living? I actually got my first guest onto the podcast, Tony Q. Now, we actually just got finished wrapping up the 500 challenge, and I'm just trying to see how you feeling after that 500 challenge.
You know, I'm feeling all right. Not as sore as last week. Last week was killer. Obviously, after you get through those second sessions, you start to feel okay. I definitely feel not as sore as the last time, but it's definitely a killer for sure.
It takes a toll on the body a little bit.
100%.
Absolutely. All right. So for those who don't know what the 500 challenge is, it's basically a calisthenics workout. You do 500 of not each, but 100 pull-ups, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and 100 dips. All body weight calisthenics, and it really does work your body in a way that you wouldn't think, because the next day you're feeling sore.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
There's no hiding that soreness. It's gonna get you. You could stretch all day. You could do an hour, 2 hour session of stretching. You're not going anywhere. You're gonna be sore. And
yeah. And for those who really don't want to hit the gym, so to speak, or they don't really want to start getting right into lifting weights, I think maybe not start out with the 500, but maybe try to get there, because calisthenics is a good spot to start with anything.
Yeah. Even 100 challenge. Do 100 challenge. Do 20 of each.
Absolutely.
20 of each.
That's huge.
That's, even if you can bang out 2 a set, do 10 sets of each.
It's a great starting place.
The bare minimum.
Absolutely.
The bare minimum.
Yeah, it's a great starting place. So, what I was just saying, you don't want to get into the gym right away, but you want to start seeing some progress within your physical. I absolutely encourage anybody and everybody to get on to that calisthenics. Would you agree?
I 100% agree. There's no... working out with calisthenics, push-ups, pull-ups, all these types of workouts that we're doing, including the 500 challenge, is your own body weight.
Absolutely.
There's no external factor. It's you.
It's you.
It's you.
That's it.
So why not train you?
Might as well.
Your body is meant for it.
Absolutely. You could do it in the comfort of your own home. You don't even got to go out. And I also think it's a great place to start your base.
Yeah.
You build that base of your just overall strength and physique in a way.
For sure.
You're hitting everything, chest, tries, buys, legs, shoulders, all of them. You're hitting all those muscle groups, and then once you get to the gym, you're going to have that base, and you're lifting is just going to be that much easier.
Absolutely.
From what I think.
And then building off of that, excuse me, after you completing these types of challenges, you feel a sense of not just relief, but
accomplishment.
Almost an accomplishment.
Absolutely.
You just conquered that challenge. And I think conquering goals or any type of tasks that are in your way, adversity, when adversity shows up, you want to knock that motherfucker down.
You want to tackle that bitch.
You want to take it down.
Absolutely.
And after you do that, knowing it's a task, the greater the odds, the greater the glory.
Wow, yeah.
And
it is good that way, honestly.
And
when there's odds stacked up against you, it's a better win at the end of the day.
100%. There's no hiding. There's no hiding from that. And if you do hide from that, unfortunately, you'll almost get used to that. Stay comfortable with staying without troubles in your life.
For sure.
Sometimes you have to take risks. And I think the gym is the perfect example, because you can always relate that in any situation in life. You have to be uncomfortable to grow in the
100%.
gym. Do you think your biceps want to pick up those 80-pound dumbbells?
No.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
They have no intention of
not a chance.
doing work.
Yeah,
but guess what? When it's done, they grow.
It's done.
Because they were uncomfortable. They were put in uncomfortable circumstances that provided them with growth and beneficial factors in all types of shapes and forms.
I completely agree with you on that. If you're going to grow in any facet of life, you're going to have to get a little bit uncomfortable, say the first guy, excuse us, we might have to cut that. The first guy who hopped on stage, the first time that he did it, obviously he was not feeling comfortable.
No.
He was feeling a little bit maybe a little nervous, a little anxious, before he got on there. But once he got on there and he got done with his speech, he was just that much more ahead of the game in a way, and that much more mentally stronger because he had faced that adversity.
That sense of accomplishment you just spoke of.
Exactly.
That's
it's
what
huge.
It is.
And
that's
what you were
see.
saying is you really have to, get uncomfortable if you want to see results within whatever you do, honestly.
Absolutely.
Whether it's mental, whether it's physical, whether it's financially,
yeah.
You're going to want to get a little bit uncomfortable and just learn a little bit more about the situation or about, dive deep, really get deep into whatever it is that you're pursuing or trying to fulfill. And sometimes it's uncomfortable to get that much into it.
Yeah.
Or sometimes, if you want to grow, like we were both saying, in the gym especially, you're going to have to push yourself past your limits a little bit.
Absolutely.
Whatever you think your limit is, try to go past it. Try to get one
all
more.
the time. Every day.
Absolutely.
Every single day, because that's the biggest issue. Because what we speak of is step one, if you will. Step two is doing it every single day. Doing it even on the days that you don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like absolute crap and you don't want to get up, those are the days that you'll feel the best.
And it feels that much better.
And if you continue
I completely agree with this.
Go ahead and face the fears and face those tasks and blocks of adversity, those walls that stand tall in front of your way. You have to continue to knock them down each and every day, day in and day out. Because if you don't, you'll miss out.
And you're not going to grow.
You're not going to grow. You're missing out. It's on you.
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, it is you versus you.
There's no other competition.
You know?
There's no other competition.
Yeah.
It's almost similar. I like to relate. I like to relate it to like a skyscraper in the city. You're never going to, in building your own everyone's their own skyscraper, if you want to relate it to this. They only grow up. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
They'll never grow to the side and interfere with anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
They only go up. If you focus on the building next to you, you're only going to get as tall as the building next to you. If you're focused on what you can do, you could be the tallest building in the motherfucking world.
Absolutely.
But YouTube, I hope you don't cut me off for that.
Listen,
try to.
But since we're talking about buildings, I actually have like a pretty good quote to go off of that, right? When you want to build a building that lasts, a strong building, one that's very tall, kind of better than the rest in a way. You know what you have to do? You have to build a foundation that is strong enough to withhold that building,
that tall ass building,
and withstand the winds and all that stuff. So that you could take of life, or those winds and the rain and the weather, as kind of like adversity in your life, whether it's something going on, or it's battle versus you in the morning. You have to build that foundation of you doing something potentially every single day, even if it's as simple as making your bed, waking up, going to the gym. You have to take this foundation, and then from that base, it'll grow you and shoot you up that much higher.
Absolutely.
Right?
And I 100% agree. And going off of that, if someone is, let's say, in a bad habit where they're continuing to do things that aren't benefiting them, you have to break that part of you off. You have to break it. You have to forget about it.
Absolutely.
You cannot. If you want to sacrifice that piece, you'll be able to risk the chance of gaining who you want to be.
Yeah.
And that's why heroes are who they are, because they risk who they are to get where they want to be. And going off of breaking that bad habit off, you can relate it to a jigsaw puzzle. I like to relate this to a jigsaw puzzle because let's say I buy 1,000-piece puzzle at Target and I bring it home. It's a nice piece.
Yeah.
Am I going to expect to open that box and see everything put together and everything's made and everything's all
absolutely not.
Everything's all perfectly together and each 1,000th piece is together, making the beautiful picture I saw? No, you have to break that box open, put it all over the table, spread it all out, because sometimes things have to fall apart to fall into place.
Wow.
And going back to the puzzle, when you start to break everything apart, and you start, it's going to be hard right off the bat. You're not going to know where to start. Maybe you'll find the one of the four corners, and you'll build from that.
Absolutely.
And you'll see what connects to that. And then you're not going to see the whole picture, but you see something. And as long as you connect those pieces each and every day, sooner than later, that puzzle piece is going to be half built.
Absolutely.
And your purpose is going to start to materialize.
Wow.
So maybe you won't see it in reality,
but it's
but
working.
as long as you picture it up here and say, I'm going to complete this puzzle, I see what this puzzle looks like when it's done.
I'm going to get to that destination.
I will get there, and I will take it step by step. I'm not going to get it all in one day.
Yeah.
It's not going to be overnight completion.
Absolutely.
But each and every day, I'll put in a little bit of work to get something connected. and make sense.
I completely agree with this. And this is for a lot of people that are starting out in the gym as well, especially if they're bigger, like more fat, so to speak. You're not going to see results right away.
No.
Even if you start going to the gym every single day, you're going to see results probably within like a month, maybe a few weeks. You will see you start shedding fat and you will see you start gaining more muscle. But trust me, just like you were saying, like it's not going to happen right away. You're not going to don't think that you're just going to wake up and see these results magically appear out of thin air, because it just does not work like that.
Never.
You have to put in the time, you have to put in the energy, and you have to put in the effort.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not saying any of this like I have a completed puzzle. I'm still piecing together my puzzle too.
100%. Both of us are not perfect,
but going
we have
back to what we said before, you're not my competition, and anybody watching is not my competition. I'm not worried about any of them, and I'm not worried about beating you. I'm worried about beating myself from yesterday.
Beating the person you were yesterday.
I don't want to leave the puzzle the same way I had it yesterday. I did nothing. I don't want that. I don't want that mentality. See, if that's a mental defeat, I don't want that. I want to be consistent and go along my way, my destiny that I'm chosen to be. And I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
And you can relate that puzzle to people talking crap about you.
Absolutely.
Honestly, like, oh no, you're not supposed to put that piece together. You're not supposed to do that. Who are you to tell me that? This is my puzzle. You got your own puzzle to put together. And
Absolutely.
I don't care if you put your puzzle together or not. You should not be worried about mine. And
Absolutely.
you relate that to life. It's like no, it doesn't matter what anybody
You are
says.
kind of the creator of your own reality.
100%.
In a sense.
Your actions mean
everything
way more than your words.
110%.
You're the observer of your thoughts. You're like I can think of a million thoughts right now, but you're not going to see nothing. And that what do my thoughts do? Nothing.
Nothing. You have to put it into action.
And what if I write down my thoughts? That's action.
Absolutely.
I show you. That's the reaction. Because I wrote it down.
For sure. And with that action, you're going to start seeing results. You're not going to see results without any action. So start.
Never.
Absolutely continue to do something. And when you do, just keep going. Take those little wins, and every time you feel a little bit of accomplished.
Because they count.
Absolutely. You feel accomplished.
Yes.
When you wake up early, you hit the gym, you do stuff that is beneficial to your mind. And at the end of the day, we kind of all know what we have to do to create success in our lives,
Correct.
Whether it's physical, mental, or financial, you know what you have to do in a sense, and you know the person that you have to, absolutely, spiritual and emotionally as well. You know what you have to do deep down in your mind. Mm-hmm. So what you have to do is just start doing it.
Just do it.
Put the action.
Just start.
It's easier said than done. I will say it's easier said than done.
It's easier said than done, but the only limits you have in this world are the ones you put on yourself.
Absolutely.
So yes, it's easier said than done, but you determine your limits. You determine when you're gonna get up and go. We wake up with a choice. Are we gonna get out or are we gonna stay in bed? Every day we come up with a million choices. Do we always pick the right one? Probably not.
Absolutely.
But the ones that we don't, we learn from. But you just have to get into a habit of trying to choose the good one.
I agree.
And then you'll see where that takes you with consistency. 2 C's I like to live by: confidence and consistency. Because if I'm consistently confident, who's stopping me? I mean, really,
nobody.
I mean, I with me personally, I believe in God. When I'm with God, my purpose is clear as day. I'm not worried about anyone, and
with God on your side, it brings you that sense of faith and that kind of helping hand in a sense of like He's walking with you.
100%.
And if you have that confidence and you feel good and you feel like you're doing the right thing every single day, and really, putting a positive impact on the people around you, because you don't want to be negatively impacting the people around you.
Yeah, it'll come back to you.
Absolutely.
You don't want that shit to come back.
And there's no point to just putting negative energy into the world.
No.
I know a lot of people who are just kind of like very down, very pessimistic attitude.
Victimizing.
Absolutely.
Victimizing themselves. Why me? Why is this happening to me?
And this is a controversial topic, but from what I think is, if somebody is going to be like that and really try to down other people, it's more or less their own insecurities and their own imperfections that they're pushing onto you.
Oh, yeah.
I
don't see that being controversy, because I 100% agree, and I don't see who wouldn't. Like, that's 100% a reflection.
It's a reflection of your inner world, and then you're almost portraying it. You're giving it out to the world, and you're saying, oh, this is how I feel inside. So realistically, if you are going and you're all these emotions and just spewing out just anger, sadness, whatever it is, then realistically, it's just that's your inner world just being portrayed out to the world. And to be honest, you look kind of weak.
100%. I've never met a hater doing better than me.
Yeah.
Like you won't see somebody putting you down that's doing better than you.
Absolutely.
Somebody that's doing better than you would pick you up.
Try to pick you up and bring you up to their level potentially if they
and
felt
that's not
100%
of the times. Of course, someone may be doing, however, whatever scale you're talking about, physically, spiritually, financially, however, they're doing lower than you. There are still good people that have good intentions. So I'm not putting everyone down, but a majority, unfortunately, in this world, especially nowadays, yeah, that's the case.
For sure. And honestly, if you're looking to get out of that mindset, of that weak mindset where you're just angry all the time and, you know, just really try and hone in on yourself, try to figure out what the problem is, confront it head on, and then work on it, you know? And I'm a firm believer in starting in physical, you know, really, like we were talking about in the beginning of the video, the 500 challenge. Start getting in the gym, you know?
Just do it.
Just do it. Just do it.
Something.
You know, push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, all those calisthenic workouts you can start doing. And you really want to push yourself, because pushing yourself will create that adversity that we were talking about, and you will become stronger, not only physically, but you will become stronger mentally. And breaking down those walls that you have put up for yourself, because they are just self-limiting beliefs, you're going to eventually break down those walls, like what Tony was saying in the beginning of the 100%. Video.
And you know, you can't, going back to the skyscraper, you cannot compare yourself when you're at the gym. You know, you know how many gentlemen that are in that gym that are huge that are incomparable.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of genetics.
That's what I don't even care if they're taking steroids, doing whatever. Good for them. I'm never comparing someone else's chapter to mine. What I'll compare is my chapter 2 to my chapter 1 to see if I'm doing better.
Absolutely.
And I'm not worried about comparing my chapter 2 to your chapter 22. And I want to know where I want to be when I'm in chapter 22.
For sure.
I don't care.
It's good to be your own rival.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, you're versing yourself. You're not versing somebody else. Like you said, like thief or comparison is the thief of joy. You know, if you're gonna completely compare yourself and always compare yourself to the next guy, you know the classic saying, "Keeping up with the Joneses." Have you heard that?
Yes.
It's when you just try to keep up with your neighbor. You know, the neighbor gets the new garage, the neighbor gets the new car, and you're like, "Oh, I gotta get that now. I gotta level up my status symbol," because you're not doing anything for yourself. You're not benefiting yourself. You know, at that point, what you're doing is you're just hurting your own mental. Like, live for yourself.
100%.
Really try to create the best version of yourself for you.
For you.
Not for
you. Not anybody else.
Yeah.
Like, do it for you. So
for sure,
you can provide for your family.
Absolutely.
God willing that your mother and your father are still here, and your siblings are still here, and your grandmother and anybody else you're here to provide for. God willing they're still here.
Yeah.
That's why you're doing it. For
and
you.
Exactly. And then
Nobody
when you do it, when you fix your inner world, and you're almost good. I'm not going to say perfect, but you get good, right? Mm-hmm. The people that are around you, you're going to affect their lives in such a better manner, just a positive manner. You know, when you sit down and eat dinner with your family, it's going to be a little bit better. You know, it's going to, when you go and hang out,
more smiles.
Exactly. Spend some time with people you love. Spend some time with people you enjoy spending time with. It's just going to be that much better, because you have almost created the version of yourself that you believe is good, productive, and a value to this world.
Right.
And, you know,
and
it sounds a little harsh, but that's the truth.
No, and I'm gonna jump off the whatever they call it. I don't. What's it called? The diving board.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump off that diving board right now and get into something even deeper than that. When I reach my time for heaven, and I see God, the last thing I want to do is him say, "Hey, Tony, look, this is who you could have been." And I'm looking at my full potential.
Yeah, nah.
I would be broken. So my goal, my purpose, is to be looking in the mirror when he shows me my full potential.
I like that.
Because my soul, the best me will see him.
For sure.
Because it's my soul. It's not my old body. God willing, I live a long life.
Absolutely.
And that's how I picture it. And with that, it's obviously a lot deeper than society itself.
For sure. I agree.
And I saw a meme on Instagram. It was like, POV, your ancestors are rooting from you from above. and it's like an entire coliseum of them cheering.
That gives you the chills.
Oh, the chills, brother. My spine, my skin, my everything was standing up. And I was like, wow, like it goes back to my Roman empires, to my Armenians who were trying to escape the Turkish genocide, or the Armenian genocide from the Turks, sure. And even the Ukrainians now that are unfortunately getting whatever. We won't dig deep in that, but I am Italian, Ukrainian, Armenian. So when I see that ancestors looking down, that's just so much like
motivation,
momentum. It's like
absolutely.
It's like, whoa,
let me get stuff done. Let me do this for my ancestors.
Now. It's like
let me do this for my bloodline.
Like you know the pick lighters where you just light it up.
Yeah,
that could be a little spark of motivation.
Absolutely.
When I saw that, I felt like a fucking flamethrower just went off. Made that big lighter mate look like nothing
for sure.
And that's my motivation. I want to
for sure.
I want to take off for my people.
Going off of that. All right. Sorry to cut you off.
No, it's fine.
But I feel like trying to reach your full potential, whether it's your body or mind, it's so beneficial to yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and it's almost a disservice to yourself if you don't try to reach that max potential. You know, it's almost a disservice to God. Because he gave you this body, he gave you this mind and this soul, and he says, you know, do as you will with it. And if you're not going to try to become the best version of it, of yourself, of your soul, you're almost doing a disservice to yourself and to God. So
for sure,
really try your best every single day you wake up. Put your best foot forward. Beat the person that you were yesterday. Yeah. Keep striving towards greatness, you know, and eventually you will get there.
Yeah.
So it's all about putting one step in front of the other and kind of going in an upward direction.
Absolutely.